Oh, you didn't know? Welcome back to another episode of the LTS Wrestling Podcast. It's me. It's that N-I-double C. Welcome back to another episode of the LTS Wrestling Podcast. Fuck, it's been a minute, guys. What's going on?
I felt like you just Jey Uso that shit.
Yeah, I know. I fucking ran that
twice.
shit. I ran that shit back because we were just talking about it.
It clearly wasn't in your head. It was clearly in your head.
It was in my head. It was in my head. We ran that shit back.
Yes, sir. But hey, you know what? Nonetheless, it has been a minute. Thank you so much, everyone, and anyone that's joining us right now on Twitch. And we appreciate you guys 100%. You know, it's been, I don't know how many weeks since we did our live Twitch stream on Royal Rumble, but here we are. We got Jay, Nick, myself, JoJo here. Appreciate you guys joining us. And of course, we are heading into the weekend of Elimination Chamber, which is going to be taking place at the Allstate Arena in Chicago. But, you know, first and foremost, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good. It's been a minute, guys. I missed doing
Just came back from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's just say I had fun.
Yes, I know we say it a lot. You know, life has just been lifing at us for the most part.
Life and
you know, so cheers to that. But at the same time, there's been a lot of wrestling that's been happening over the past few weeks, right? You know, not necessarily just with the WWE, but then also like clearly things going on at AEW and TNA. You know, been relatively hard to follow, but for the most part, you know, we can really talk on some of these things. Obviously, anybody that's joining us on Twitch, you know, feel free to chime in, drop some comments, and if you anything that you want us to talk about, let's talk about it, right? But we do have Elimination Chamber coming up this Saturday. We do have four matches on the card, specifically with the men's and the women's Elimination Chamber matches. We also do have AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the women's intercontinental title, and the world heavyweight match with CM Punk versus Finn Balor. So, first thing first, right? Let's go right into it. Straight up predictions, right? World heavyweight title match. Obviously, we're in Chicago, clearly home of CM Punk. What do you guys think about this match? Clearly, the favorite right now is obviously CM Punk. Anticipated main event match with Roman Reigns, but could there be a potential upset here? What do you guys think?
No upset. It's Chicago. This is CM Punk territory. So what you do hope will happen is that CM Punk helps Finn Balor turn face and get out of the Judgment Day. So I think something will happen there in that aspect where Balor is gonna break away from the Judgment Day here because he's getting thanks to Punk, he's back in the limelight, he's back in the main event scene where he's been a workhorse. He deserves this. So I think this is a good compilation prize or to not being in the Rumble and not gonna win this one. But I think they'll have a good match. Finn Balor always has bangers. And CM Punk will, the crowd's just it's gonna be live for CM Punk. So I don't think there's gonna be a surprise. You're not gonna ruin the Roman Reigns versus CM Punk main event by having him drop here.
I'm kind of on the same page too. Like, I want to go against the grain on this one and say that Finn Balor's gonna win.
Interesting.
I want to say that.
Okay. What's holding you back?
In any other scenario, I would want to say that Finn is gonna win. The only thing holding me back is exactly what Jay said, is that I don't think they want to ruin the Roman Reigns versus CM Punk thing for WrestleMania. That's literally the only thing holding me back.
Gonna lose his shine.
Right. I think especially with so much writing on WrestleMania right now, and I don't want to get too much into like the whole politicking of like WrestleMania not doing so well on ticket sales and all this other stuff, right? Like, and how like the matches are not really solidified yet. Um, and how CM Punk and Roman Reigns seems to be one of the few matches that are solidified, kind of solidified ish.
Mhm.
I don't want to get too deep into that, but I don't think that they want to mess with one of the few matches that seems to be one of the solid cards in there. So I feel like Punk is gonna win,
Mhm.
but I don't think Finn Balor is gonna walk away from this match without something. So there's gonna be Finn Balor's gonna take away something from this match. What is it? Face turn? Is it gonna be a new chapter for him as far as like him living the Judgment Day? He's gonna walk away with something. What is it? I don't know. I think there's gonna be something for Finn Balor. What happens? I don't know. I think CM Punk's gonna win.
I think he'll be a little bit more serious when after this, like, because he wasn't as serious in the Judgment Day, and that's like kind of Dom's clique now, right? Dom's taking that over.
All I'm saying is WWE. Jay, please say the line.
I know you're watching, man. I know you're watching. Oh,
Please.
I will say this though, is that most of the time when you go to a home city, the superstar goes to the home city, they always take an L. But I don't think that's gonna happen to CM Punk. Not in Chicago.
And I was gonna bring that up too, but what I will say is WWE. We know you watching. I remember I called out Finn Balor using his old music. How I wished that he would use it, and he
Okay, all right.
Please keep that. Please keep that.
What event was that? I'm trying to think.
That was at
Wasn't that the live Raw that we just did our
Europe.
Twitch on it?
It was in Europe.
That was
Belfast.
Yeah, yep.
in Europe.
That was the one I built. Yep.
Yeah,
It was.
Yeah.
I called
And
it.
that's kind
I
of
called
showing you like he's breaking away from the Judgment Day, right? He's doing that.
Keep that entrance music. I loved it. It was so awesome. Just keep that. That's all I ask. Finn doesn't have to win. You can give him a good storyline.
He's not gonna win.
Leaving a Judgment. Yeah, just let him have his old music back. His old entrance music is the fucking best.
He's gonna win some fans over that night
I agree.
because what's gonna happen, and I'll say this, I'm in alignment with what you guys are saying. It's pretty clear that the main event for WrestleMania Night 2 is not gonna be altered. That's pretty much a lock in my opinion, aligning with what you guys are saying. But at the same time, I think what we need to pay attention here is kind of more what you guys are saying in terms of him leaving Judgment Day and how is this going to happen. It's pretty clear that it's going down the path where him and Dom are going to have a match at WrestleMania, point blank.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
And I think that's what's the focus here, is really giving that more of an intriguing story build for those two, even though we've kind of seen this pan out over the years of them being in Judgment Day. They're clearly going to have a match for that IC title at WrestleMania. And I think that's what he's going to clearly be solely focused on after this match with Punk, right? Because let's be honest, I think when we watch that title match between Punk and Finn and Belfast, if they were going to put the strap on Finn, that would have been it. That would have been crazy. It would have been an awesome
that would have been
moment.
it.
You know what I mean? But it didn't happen. So I think it really is going to transpire at WrestleMania for him and Dom to have their actual showdown, therefore ending their partnership in the Judgment Day. And oddly enough, I actually think that Judgment Day right now, even if it continues to fall apart, I honestly see that clique being ran by Liv Morgan more than anybody. Now, interesting enough though, do they need to be Judgment Day? I don't think so. I think the women, I think I shared this before, I think the women in that stable can be defined by themselves. Whether or not they want to continue to call themselves Judgment Day, I think they actually are a pretty solid group just with those three, Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne. The unfortunate part though is obviously Roxanne is clearly on the shelf right now. I'm not sure exactly how long she'll be on the shelf. Raquel has shown really good progression in terms of her single star path. And clearly we know that Liv has chosen her opponent for WrestleMania, which is going to be Stephanie Baker. So all in all, looking at this match, I think there's a lot more being told as far as what's going to happen with Judgment Day, more so than what's going to actually happen with CM Punk. Because again, it is Chicago. There's no way in hell that he's going to be losing that title. It would be a slim chance, and clearly I see the odds here show that for CM Punk to lose is a minus 5,000. So if you're a betting man, you really have nothing to lose and you really want to go for it, bet on the fact that he will lose, because your odds are pretty favorable here in that aspect. But it's not happening. Finn Balor is going to take the L. I think we move on to WrestleMania knowing that he is going to move forward with Dominic Mysterio. And interesting enough, right? CM Punk's wife, AJ Lee, is having a title match against Becky Lynch this year for the IC title. Also in AJ Lee's hometown, right? And going back to that theory that you said, Jay, I think hometown wrestlers typically lose here. What do you think that kind of plays out in this situation?
Yes. I will say that because it's the road to WrestleMania time, and AJ Lee is not really active unless you're going to ramp her up, which I don't know if that's what they're going to do. Becky Lynch will take this IC belt. She'll win this match. I don't think AJ Lee's going to win. I mean, they're going to get the crowd will be happy. CM Punk will win, but they'll be disappointed with the AJ Lee loss because she's not active enough that especially to a build to WrestleMania. No, she needs to be more active. And that's probably the only reason why I'm going to pick Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch is going to be in the card in WrestleMania. Is she going to have the belt? Most likely. And then maybe they're going to run it back, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch on WrestleMania. But she did beat Becky Lynch already in twice, right? She beat her in War Games, and she beat her in a singles
tag team match at WrestlePalooza. They haven't fought for a singles match.
Oh, okay. So I think this, but Becky won't win clean. I don't think Becky wins clean here. She'll do some sort of tactic where she'll come out on top. She'll have I think she'll carry the belt to WrestleMania.
Nick,
I'm going against the grain on this one. I think AJ is going to win. I think I think AJ is going to win on this one, and maybe this is the time for AJ to start appearing more on TV. I think this is a great time actually for her to start appearing more on TV, especially because she does have a full-time contract now with the WWE. I don't know what her contract looks like. Honestly, I don't think any of us know what her contract looks like. We do know that she does have a full-time contract, but we don't know what her full-time contract states, like as far as how many dates she has to work. So we don't know. It could state that she only has to work so many dates. You know what I mean? Like she's only obligated to work so many dates. And that's why she's not being utilized on TV, or it could be that they want to make sure that she's ready so that once WrestleMania season starts coming around, that she looks super sharp, and that's why they haven't kept her on TV.
Yeah.
And that the appearances that she has had so far, we're just testing the water to see and make sure that the engagement is there. So while she's on TV, to see that people will actually remember her, and you know what I mean? Like that there's engagement while she's on TV, which obviously there is. So I think AJ takes this one. I think AJ takes this one, and then they have a build up to WrestleMania. And then I'm not going to push that far ahead as doing a prediction for WrestleMania, but I think AJ takes this one.
It's interesting because I know that they're feeding off of the matches that they had, specifically going back to when AJ returned, and the mixed tag match with Punk, AJ, and Seth and Becky at WrestlePalooza, and of course War Games, where AJ was, in the opposite team of Becky, them and AJ winning, right? Both matches specifically. So it's almost like one of those things where you look at, does Becky take a third L against AJ? I don't think it's gonna happen, but at the same time, what happens going into Mania? Because I'm going to be doing this a lot today, specifically when we're talking about Elimination Chamber, because if we're really looking at Elimination Chamber, it's clearly the transition from Rumble to Mania. We're still trying to fill the gaps to what Mania's card is going to fully look like.
Right.
With the fact that we already have some matches, but we still have to determine a lot of other matches. And I think specifically when we're talking about the IC title, and because Becky is the current champion, she has to clearly be involved. She's a big name. It's a major title, right?
And that was kind of like my whole reasoning behind my pick, was because like where does it kind of go from there? Like I feel like if Becky beats AJ, outright.
No, she'll win. She'll win.
No.
She'll win dirty.
Even if she beats her dirty, like I feel like even if they try to run it back at Mania, I feel like it's like I don't feel like I would want to watch a second match. Like that's
but
just
what if
me
the second
first.
what if the second match ends up having stipulations? Let's just say, for example, what if it ends up being a ladder match?
Yeah.
They would really have to like give me some really good stipulations.
But you forget too, Nick, that those two can promo the hell and can build a match. I think this one has really no build.
Well, okay, I know Becky can promo, and sure, AJ can promo. They would have to give me a lot of good stipulations to a match.
And I'm sure,
I think
there will be.
Yeah, and see, that's the problem too. It's like I think WWE right now is relying so heavily on the fact that they had those two matches prior to, and they're using that as the build to obviously this match. It doesn't feel like it's enough going into Mania. So there has to be something else that they need to like just make it feel like Mania worthy if they were to run it back.
But it could happen in this match, right? It could happen in this match,
which would be kind of interesting to think what that is, right? And I think I would say in terms of who I pick, yeah, I'm probably leaning more towards Becky winning it just because of her being able to be like, yeah, you beat me in a tag match, you beat me in War Games, but you couldn't beat me by yourself. I can definitely see Becky doing some shenanigans on her part saying that, right? But at the same time, Jay is saying she'll beat her dirty. Therefore, AJ's, well, you beat me. Yes, you did, but you didn't beat me clean. So guess what? You want to play like that? Let's just make sure that the rules are even across the board. They make it a no DQ, some sort of stipulation, ladder match, street fight, whatever you want to call it, right? I think
Nigerian drum match. Nigerian drum match.
Yeah, so like it has to be
a Punjabi cage match.
Oh, yeah. that would be a hell of a time right there.
Where nobody
can watch you watching us.
Where nobody can watch.
We know you watching us, WWE.
Puerto Rican, what is that one? The Puerto Rican street brawl thing.
Street match. We got fucking Bad Bunny jumping out of there. Shit. But that's the thing, right? I think that's why it's important to see how this match pans out. If they choose to run it back at WrestleMania between those two, there has to be some sort of segue. So I think that's
would this be AJ Lee's
in my mind?
First?
That's how we're looking at.
Would this be AJ Lee's first? Yeah,
it would be.
So maybe they're testing the waters and seeing how it goes.
Yeah,
I mean, they obviously have chemistry.
Yeah,
and Becky Lynch can work with anybody.
They also have to see if AJ can still go, right? Like, I mean, see if her cardio's up for singles matches, because she's
definitely in shape. I mean, she's definitely in shape. We can see that.
Well, but you know what they always say, right? And they've said it themselves.
Ring shape is always a different
ring shape
thing.
is different from being
in shape.
In shape.
Yeah. Like look at somebody like Otis. He's got the shape.
He's big, right?
But he's also in ring shape, right? So,
exactly.
But you know what I mean. No knock on Otis. I like Otis. I'm a big boy myself, so
exactly, bro.
Gotta love the big boys. But yeah, I think this has a bigger payoff at Mania, but it has to mean something going into it. So I personally think AJ Lee takes the L here. Now, looking at the Elimination Chamber matches, each one, right? Specifically men and women's. Let's start off with the women's here. So we got the participants: Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Kiana James. So we know now that because Liv Morgan had chosen Stephanie Becker as her opponent for WrestleMania, the winner of this match is clearly going to be going up against Jade Cargill for the women's world championship. So, with that being said, who do you guys see coming out of this? And should I talk about the odds here? Like who's actually favored before we actually choose?
Yeah, give us the odds. Odds.
So right now, the one that is least likely to win is Kiana James, but the one that has the most has the best odds of winning is Rhea Ripley.
Of course, it would be Rhea.
Of course.
Yep. So with that being said, what do you guys think?
It's Rhea. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's Asuka. But it's always gonna be Asuka for me. I'm gonna be rooting for Asuka all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Twice on Saturday.
Julia.
Yeah, those two. But objectively, it's Rhea. Why? Because this is WrestleMania. And Rhea will be in the main event. Unless she's going to fight Io. Or, if you go through all the scenarios, I have to pick one, right? So I picked Rhea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're not going to have a feud with Io in WrestleMania, if that's not happening, right? And it's Io and Asuka that's going to feud and Kyrie gets saved by that. If that's going to happen, then it's Tiffy time. She runs it back with Jade Cargill. But main event, WrestleMania could be a potential main event. Rhea Ripley will be your woman. She's the one, she's the face. Right?
Okay.
I mean, although in my opinion, they should give it to Asuka. But yes. And Kiana James, just stop trying to outshine Julia. You're supposed to be supporting Julia. Stop trying to outshine her. Good Lord.
I hate to tell you this, Jay, but in the year 2026, Kiana James is absolutely outshining Julia.
Sure, in your head. In your head.
Bold take.
Just kidding.
Bold take.
No,
Just
it's
saying.
good though.
Kiana
James has taken her opportunity, and she's starting to.
She's fucking running with the ball, bro.
She's coming out. She's coming out like her chest.
I
So,
was
there you
impressed. I was impressed with her Royal Rumble showing.
She's
Absolutely.
even in her tag matches. She's been really putting in work.
Yes,
Julia has
absolutely.
to, but they
No,
whatever
and
those two don't split them up yet. They got something working there.
Yeah, and just side note. I know we're on the whole Elimination Chamber thing, but side note, in Julia's defense, and people have been saying it, and we've even said it. Julia just hasn't had the right dance partners, but they've been putting her with the right dance partners as of lately, and she's really been able to shine. So I mean, they just need to put her with the right people.
Yep.
So back to Elimination Chamber. Trying to put myself in Papa H's.
Oh man, do you really want to though?
I'm trying to. Well,
Yeah, it's a cushy job.
Who do we put over so that we can
You need
put
glasses. You need to put glasses on when you do this Papa H impression.
You got
go.
some.
Now you look like unreal.
So,
there you go.
Who do we put
I love
over?
it.
Who do we put over?
I just wish you had
Who
a
do we
goatee
put in the
now.
match with? I know. Who do we put
It
in
would
the
just
match
be
with?
awesome.
With Jade Cargill, you know, because we definitely can't put Chelsea Green in there because she has a ceiling, and you know
Oh, Michael P.H. Hayes?
Yeah.
that's exactly what Michael Hayes says, that she has a ceiling, and
Who's Michael Piaget here? Jay, do us a favor. Do a Michael Piaget.
I cannot do him. I want to protect Chelsea Green. She's amazing. She's dope. She will elevate anybody. Chelsea Green she'll elevate anybody. She's dope, dude.
bro, Michael Hayes is fucking Michael Hayes is out of control.
He clarified it on Taker's podcast.
Bro, that was an even worse take. I watched that. That was an even worse. I
didn't watch it. What did he say?
Yeah.
Bro, from one guy to another, I want to dick check that guy. Like
what the hell?
What a terrible take, bro. That was a terrible take.
It's almost like it's like he doubled down on it, but he had to like say, he said like how she's good. She's good at what she's doing.
But there's a ceiling.
He goes on to blame the fans.
She's in the position that she's in for a reason.
Yeah,
and she does it
blame the
well.
Fans. I'm like, oh, bro, fuck you, bro.
But Taker obviously says, you know, she's got the it factor.
Yeah,
she does.
Taker,
and he understands. Yeah. He understands, and Taker understands why she's in the position she's in right now.
Yeah.
And who you picking? Who you picking, bro? Stop lagging.
Not Chelsea Green, because Chelsea Green ain't in it.
Man, I'm going with Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, okay. I don't want to say it's a good pick. It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I don't want to.
It's a safe pick.
I don't want to say Tiffany Stratton because that's such a boring match, and nobody fucking wants to see that. But at the same time, it's like I'm trying to think because Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, they still have the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Are we really gonna make Rhea do double duty on WrestleMania? I mean, that's not out of the question.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll further the storyline as to the reason why they'll lose the title. Mm-hmm. So maybe Rhea, but would you send Rhea to SmackDown as a superstar? You know, make her move to a different brand. Obviously, it's not gonna. I don't think it'll be Alexa.
Oh man, you're right. I didn't even know that she's not on SmackDown.
Right, she's a Raw superstar.
Yeah,
okay, it don't matter.
It's not going to be Alexa. It's not going. I don't think it's going to be Alexa. It's not going to be Kiana. Man, and I'd love to see Raquel. You know what?
What about Asuka?
You know what? Fuck it, Raquel Rodriguez. I'm just going to go with Raquel.
What about Asuka? You didn't say anything nice about Asuka.
No, I have nothing bad to say about Asuka. Asuka is awesome.
Good. Okay.
But nothing good to say right now.
But I have nothing good to say right now. I'm gonna go with Tiffany. I'm gonna go with Tiffany. I'm gonna say it's Tiffany time.
Okay.
It's a good pick.
I'm glad you guys said what you said because it doesn't put a wrench in what I have to say. So I'm gonna come with the bold pick here.
Oh,
off the cuff,
okay.
Off the cuff, and it's not even on this list. And this is what I'm going to say about this match. I think somebody is going to get replaced in this match.
Ooh.
And I personally think, no knock on her because she's been doing a heck of a job. I personally think the reason why Kiana James is in this match is because she's going to actually get replaced by somebody last minute. Who is this person going to be? Bianca Belair. That's your winner.
You think she's going to make it in time?
I think this whole surgery shit that they're putting online right now is all fabricated to make it seem like it is current. Well,
but it had already,
in my opinion,
she has already happened.
It already had happened.
It happened a while ago.
So there's going to be the surprise of the Elimination Chamber. We're going to see Bianca Belair return. She's going to come in and win this match, and she's going to go face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. There's no other match that makes sense to me in this fashion right now, other than having Bianca Belair make a return to go up against her former friend, Jade Cargill.
That's a good call.
And a story. That's what I'm saying here.
That's a good call.
WWE, you know, you watching. If that's what's happening, I'm just saying. And again, I think going back to your picks also, right? I think you guys made great picks because obviously Rhea Ripley has a big name, but there is that part of her being still the tag champion. And I think there is still a story to be further told with her and Io. Now,
Yes.
Tiffany Stratton, she is the person that Jade beat. But when Jade beat her, she beat her like single-handedly, like with no challenge. So I don't know how Tiffany Stratton builds herself up to be the actual formidable opponent here going into WrestleMania when there's really, let's be honest, I think when we were looking at the match between her and Charlotte, or not even the match, I thought the match was actually good. The build, though, on the other hand, was quite telling. That was hard to watch. It was a hard watch. And in my opinion, I don't think I could sit through a whole Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill build.
Exactly.
Solely on the fact that
it.
it was hard to watch Tiffany Stratton. I don't think she's really caught her stride in terms of promoting matches on a big platform such as WrestleMania. That's just my opinion.
100% agree. I 100% agree.
No knock on her. She is great, gifted, and she was a good champion. But when we're talking about going up against Jade Cargill, I'm not excited for that shit. I'm just not.
I agree.
That's just how I look at it. Otherwise, you know, I do see that there might be something here with the whole Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, going back to kind of what you guys talking about. They still have the tag championships. Maybe they lose it before WrestleMania. Who knows? I don't know, right? Well, that might potentially happen. We saw the whole Rhea Ripley thing happen last year, right? She lost the title to Io Sky before WrestleMania even happened. And we might see some sort of shuffle with these titles just to make it a little bit more interesting going into WrestleMania. Because again, if we were kind of talking about maybe there might be a whole, hey Io, I've never beaten you. Maybe I'll do that at WrestleMania. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's where they're gonna shine. They might actually steal the show. They're capable of doing that.
They are. They
don't need a title.
The women have.
They don't
been
need a
stealing the
title.
show.
It's just
Yeah.
hard to like. I always feel it's hard to promote face versus face.
It is. And I get the merch also is a big factor. WWE tends to, you know, promote, you know, baby faces with, you know, or likes to keep merch sales on par with the fact that they're selling on the personas of these wrestlers, you know, these superstars. But it's, I don't know, like I just feel like there's such value with a Rhea Io Sky match because they just show out. It's the showcase of immortals. Let's be real. They've been consistent, right, with them and their chemistry when it comes to big time matches. And I think they can deliver. They don't need titles. That's one match I would actually be excited for if that was to happen. So, you know, take it for what it is. But, you know, going back to this match, I think there's a pinch hit. Bianca surprises us all, wins it. 2 years in a row, actually, right? Because she won it last year. So I'll put that out there. So that's my take.
I like that pick. I like that pick. I hope Bianca comes back, and I hope she gets a title run. She
That is a good
definitely,
pick. That's a really good pick.
she definitely deserves another title run. She's a superstar also, so and she has good matches, like athletically gifted, can promo, like she's it. You know, she has it. Like, and the injuries have robbed us of her and Naomi's maternity leave. They had a good build going into that, like
oh man.
they had a good build going into that. So I think run it back. It just makes total sense to have Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. But I already made my choice, so it's Rhea Ripley. And then my backup choice was Tiffy time.
You know the interesting thing here, right?
My heart is Asuka though.
It's like how cool would it be if, you know, obviously it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but you know, how cool would it be if it was actually Naomi to actually come in That would be freaking nuts, you know. Her face Jade Cargill, like that. That also has a lot of backstory, you know. Well, I know she's out there. She's pregnant. She's a mom to be. So that's not gonna happen. That would have been like another cool thing to happen if she had already like been wrestling in wrestling shape to do so, you know.
I'm excited for when
Otherwise, you
Naomi
know.
finally comes back.
I do, that there's a little bit of that anticipation of like, okay, yes, obviously I want her to give birth, safely, bring their child in, to this world safely and all that good stuff. At the same time, I'm just like, shit, come back. I want you to get your title back. Maybe you start a feud with Liv. How interesting would that be?
Nah,
Ooh,
it's gonna
that'd
be
be
a
a good
minute.
one.
It's gonna be a minute for her to come back. She's gonna, she's gonna
know.
bond with the baby.
It will.
Of course,
It will.
of course,
Yeah.
It will.
That's
but
just me being selfishly thinking about the whole
Right.
scenario. I would
when she
I
comes
would
back,
love
she
for that to happen.
can beat up all these heifers and take their title back.
I'm just like, man, she was so good. Like, just right on the
Even
cusp of her like starting this whole run.
even her like retire, like when she was stepping away, her promo was so funny. I mean, it was
She couldn't even take herself
good.
serious. She
Yeah.
couldn't take
Well,
herself serious because she's trying to be bad, but she was like, people loved it. People loved
Yeah, it was.
why, loved the situation that she was in. You know what I mean?
She found her character, like she found it. So it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got robbed of that, but Bianca coming back, I really hope, like, I hope my prediction is wrong, and I really hope JoJo's prediction is correct in this one, because that is the outcome I would love to happen. Besides Asuka winning it, but yes,
Like if WWE would do it right, I think that would be it. But
That's
We'll
a
see. We'll
good
see.
prediction. That's actually
see.
a really good prediction. I like that one.
well, we do have another Elimination Chamber matchup, right? So this one being the men's. So the participants: Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, LA Knight, Javon Evans, Jey Uso, Trick Williams. Odds right now show the underdog betting would be Trick Williams. Oh, that's actually crazy. I would have thought Javon Evans, but they actually have Trick Williams as the underdog here.
I would have
But-
LA Knight.
LA Knight's kind of in the middle, and betting favorite right now is Cody Rhodes.
Okay,
Who you got?
so simple for me again. I'm not messing. Cody Rhodes is my star. I need to have him in WrestleMania. Obviously, this is a surefire way for him to come in there with a story, but he's taking off the title, right? So he's been taking off the title. And then you look at the other contestants. LA Knight, you know why he's in the middle? Because that's where he is. He's stuck. He's in purgatory, in the middle, because he can't get himself out of it. He's popular, but WWE does not pull the trigger on him. And, he's just getting older, and I just don't see it. Not in a WrestleMania. At least in WrestleMania. So I don't think he gets a shot here. Trick Williams, too soon. And Javon Evans, too soon. But those two, if they get to showcase, they're going to be, Javon Evans, again, the young OG, he makes everybody's moves look great. And Trick Williams, this generation's Booker T. That's a high praise for him because Booker T is a Hall of Famer and he's the Grand Slam champion. So if Trick Williams can even get to Booker T's level or surpass him, I think he can do it. He's got the talent, he's got the mic work, he's got the size. He's dope. I see him as a future champ. But again, too soon. Like what Cody Rhodes said to Solo Sikoa. You are not ready. And who am I missing? Sami Zayn? Is he in there?
No, he's
No,
not in there.
He's not in there.
So LA Knight,
The run it back guy.
LA Knight.
guy.
LA Knight. It was LA Knight. It's Cody Rhodes. It's Lemon Pepper
Randy
Stepper. Trick Williams. Randy Orton's in
Randy
there.
Orton.
Steppa.
Yeah, it's just no. I just don't think Randy Orton's gonna get that match. No, it's Cody Rhodes. Unless you have another match for Cody Rhodes. So I'm gonna go with the safe
American
pick
Nightmare.
here. And I'm gonna go with
Nightmare.
Raheem.
Raheem Rhodes.
Raheem Rhodes. Just because of who he's facing. I mean, the second pick here would be Randy. But it is Raheem. They'll win this. What do you guys think?
Nick.
I keep looking at this list. That's a tough one. Because yeah, I think Javon and Trick Williams are in there for
High flying, high spots.
they're in there for the high spots for sure. They're in there to basically boost themselves up. Like they're fresh faces. So they're not gonna win, but they're definitely in there to put in fresh faces and get themselves over. So I don't think they're gonna win. That's tough. Jey Uso wasn't even supposed to be in there in the first place.
Oh, Jey Uso, I forgot he was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a pinch hit move because Bronson Reed got hurt. I think Bronson Reed was actually supposed to take that spot.
Yeah, he was supposed to take that spot. Fuck it, Jey Uso. Let's run it back. Run it back. Jey Uso, WrestleMania.
You going to Jey Uso?
Run it back. Nah, fuck that. Hell no. Hell
I'm about
no.
to say, you going with a pinch hitter here?
Yeah, Jey. It's not gonna be Jey Uso. So I'm bouncing. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't think
That was
it's
an
gonna be.
unintended pinch hitter, I should say.
I don't think it's gonna be Randy either. Because I want to say that they're saving Randy's next title run for Randy versus Cody because they keep teasing it, but they've been teasing it for 2 damn years already.
A retirement year?
I don't want it to be a retirement thing. Like I'm getting tired of them doing a retirement run thing. Like,
Oh, Gunther's gonna take him out. If he's gonna retire, if he has a match with Gunther, he's gonna get retired.
no, like I mean, like doing a whole retirement, like letting them like have a title in their retirement year kind of thing. Like I'm getting tired of that. Like, just let it be natural. You know what I mean? Like fucking let Randy fight Cody and let it be a natural thing. Don't have to announce it. I don't think it's gonna be Randy either. So it's between LA and Cody. And you can't have WrestleMania without Cody because Cody's the golden boy right now. So fuck it. Let's go with LA Knight. Let's go with LA Knight. Let's go with LA.
Do you
Knight.
think Cody needs a match? I mean, do you think Cody needs a title match at WrestleMania? Or he's big enough that he doesn't need it?
Cody doesn't need a title match, but Cody needs to be in WrestleMania.
Oh,
If
he will
he's
be.
active.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say LA Knight because they
After I said all I said about LA Knight.
yeah, I'm gonna say LA Knight because Cody Rhodes seems like the safe bet. It seems like the obvious bet. I'm just gonna say LA Knight just for the hell of it.
So I know our homie right there, Matt, was talking about, Cody said his next contract is going to be his last, right? So, it's interesting because I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from, in this realm of Elimination Chamber. The only thing I can really think of here is, like Cody, like you guys said, Cody's still the golden boy. Does he necessarily need to have a world title match? It almost seems like it's fitting because, for one, he already has this feud with Drew. Drew's been like interfering with his matches, screwing him over for the most part. Now there's 2 things here I'm looking at, right? I think the safe bet is to go Cody Rhodes, right? Because here there's also the possibility that's been thrown around that Jacob Fatu could be intertwined into a triple threat match here. And I think that's a highly likely chance because last year when we had the Elimination Chamber, again, going back to the women's specifically, Bianca Belair was supposed to face Io Sky, just a one-on-one competition from winning Elimination Chamber. But Rhea Ripley got inserted to that mix. So it then became a triple threat match. I actually see something happening very similar to that here in this case because, again, they've been teasing the whole Jacob Fatu piece in terms of who actually attacked Jacob a few months back. And obviously,
we still haven't gotten that answer, right?
We haven't gotten the answer. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Drew has actually said something similar to the lines of, it wasn't me. And it almost seems as if it could have been Cody, right? So
no, it was Rikishi. He did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock. I did it. So, it's just interesting. Like, I see how that could actually pan out on that side if Cody, Raheem Rhodes, is the winner here. Now, I could also see this happening. I could see them pulling off the whole Jey Uso thing, not with Jey Uso here. I'm talking about LA Knight, specifically having him go into a match and actually beating Drew McIntyre as the underdog. Specifically how Jey Uso beat Gunther last year at WrestleMania. And of course, am I saying that they're going to give LA Knight that huge long run? This is the sad part of why of this outcome for me is that I see that they're going to give him the title, fan service, also not really giving him that longevity of a title run like they did with Jey Uso. That's how I look at it. It's going to be a fan service type of thing. So that's how I look at it. But
they will pull the trigger on LA Knight? What?
I think it's just for fan service, specifically because
I can see that too, and that's why I picked LA Knight.
He's still hot with the crowd. He's still over with the crowd, and there's a lot of people pushing for him to get that. Like, you gotta give him that spot. And he, let's be honest though, he can promo, and I think him and Drew can promo the hell out of each other. They can hype up a match.
I do think you're right though. It will be a triple threat.
And see I would be more inclined to just how WWE is. I see that happening more because they got to put the big names in that main match. You know what I mean? Because like if we're talking, let's just like look at the whole WrestleMania picture, right? Right now, we got night 2 solidified with the CM Punk Roman Reigns as the main event. So night 1, what do we have? Or who's main eventing that? Are we going to put the women's? Steph and Liv?
There's no way.
Does that feel like main event worthy?
That's a night 1 opener right there.
That's the thing, right? What's the other possibility? Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair, or
we assume she has the belt.
We assume
WrestleMania.
That's a night 2 opener.
So it almost feels like they have to have Cody Rhodes, Drew, possibly triple threat with Jacob in night 1. That's how, and that's where I'm swayed here. That's where I feel like that's most likely going to be Cody Rhodes winning Elimination Chamber. But who knows? If they want to surprise us, I'm all for it too. I'm not against that shit. But hey, we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens, and just kind of actually interested to hear what you guys think now, because now that we kind of talked through the card, kind of like also part of this whole date of February 28th. We haven't been seeing a little bit of teasers on Monday Night Raw, specifically with that box, right? That box that is dated for February 28th. Supposedly a surprise. Who do you guys think that's gonna be?
The gobbledygooker. That's who it is.
Man, they ain't Survivor Series, bro. It's Elimination Chamber.
I mean, remember the last time they did this stupid shit was like, sorry, they did this stupid. It was the gobbledygooker, and it was like the biggest letdown for me as a kid.
I thought that motherfucker was really somebody else underneath that damn suit, but he was just dancing with Mean Gene and that freaking. They were like square dancing that shit towards the end. I remember that night.
Oh man, what a big letdown that was! I have no idea what this box is.
Nick,
Well, I
you?
have zero idea.
What was that? What was the guy in the glittery stormtrooper mask?
Oh, the Shockmaster.
The
Oh,
Shockmaster. Yep. Tugboat. Shockmaster.
Shockmaster. Just
Showing our
bulges through that shit.
showing our age here, bro. Showing our age
Right?
here.
Oh man, the Shockmaster. What if it's
Bro,
Cross?
nah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Why would you
Like, who's-
make him come out of a box? Why would you make him come out of a box? I see, and that's where I think I'm like leaning towards what the rumors are. You know,
What is the rumor?
you're gonna debut somebody out of a box like that. It has to be more lighthearted and fun. And the only person I can think of is Danhausen. That's the rumor. Danhausen is debuting with WWE. The guy is obviously, you know, he has that character, you know, right now or recently with AEW. If the rumors are true, this guy's obviously big on the indie scene. You know, he has the face paint, he has the look of you know, like a vampire. At the end of the day, it has to be more of a parody thing that somebody's going to be debuting out of a box. That's my opinion. So I think that's what it is. Some people are even saying it's Jericho. I highly doubt it.
I don't think it's Jericho.
I can't see Jericho coming out of a box. Again, it's just like my mindset. I don't know how you take it so seriously if it's one of these other bigger names that we're talking about. Somebody throw out their page. Why would you ever come out of a box?
I don't
It's just
even-
so weird. It's just the thought of it. So it
It's
has to be somebody
probably-
like with the parody type
It's
of act,
probably
you know what I mean?
not even a wrestler. It's probably some sort of like,
Oh
some-
my god, it's gonna be Triple H coming out saying it's a new era.
something like, we're debuting
Nick
Saudi
Nemeth.
Arabia.
Oh my god.
Saudi Arabia is gonna be
Nick
doing
Nemeth
this.
would
I
not
don't
come
know.
out of a box.
Bro, but
There's
you know,
no way.
but you know what? I would welcome back Nick Nemeth into the WWE.
I would too.
Bro.
I
I
would
would
too. I
love
think-
to see him back in the WWE.
I feel like he would finish his career in WWE, but
I would
right
love
now
to have him
he's
back.
doing his thing, man.
Man,
Maybe it's
Dolph
Travis
is one of
Scott.
Dolph is one of my favorite.
Travis
wrestlers,
Scott.
bro.
Oh my gosh, that's another one.
Oh no, it's gotta be the
Wow.
mask guy. That's who it is.
Bro,
The mask
if
guy.
If Travis
The black
Scott
hoodie
busts
guy.
out of I swear,
Oh,
if Travis Scott busts out of that box, I am turning off the TV.
It's just crazy. Like I you know, the way they're promoting this, you know, I think I want to say 2 weeks ago. I think they debuted it on Raw, right? So it's just like the timing of it. I haven't even kept track of like whether or not Danhausen actually is a free agent for that matter, but that's what's being speculated. So at the end of the day, I think that's where it's leaning towards. It has to be somebody more of a parody gimmick. more than
Danhausen would
anything.
be an interesting character on WWE. There's
Yeah,
nothing
like
like
what?
it. There's nothing like him on TV.
Him, you know, you have him, R-Truth. You put him with Mr. Iguana for that matter.
Oh God.
And I feel like they could just do like they could definitely be the sideshow act in my opinion. I'm not opposed to it. And you know, on top of that, you know, we obviously talked about Bronson Reed earlier, right? And the unfortunate fact here is that you know he had a qualifier match with Chad Gable and Jey Uso on Raw, but of course he was injured during the match.
Hold on. I didn't see Chad Gable in that match.
Oh,
Chad
I'm
Gable-
sorry. Excuse me. Beer talking. Grande El Americano. El Grande Americano.
Thank you, sir.
My
Thank you, sir.
apologies.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you for
Gable is still hurt.
Gable's still hurt. Yes, we no confirmation on his return. So otherwise, Bronson Reed, if not mistaken, torn bicep or you know like a bicep injury.
Yeah. Bicep injury. Torn.
So clearly was you know
Will we not make it to WrestleMania?
yeah, so allegedly. And you know the I say this because like right now the trend with the Vision has been injury after injury. It started with Seth Rollins, then Braun Breaker, now Bronson Reed. The main three of the Vision. So who do we have left? Austin Theory, Logan Paul. If you want to say Paul Heyman, say Paul Heyman too, right? Jay brought this up. With the way it's been trending, and now you have three of your top guys, or the three main guys, I would say, the three core guys of the division. What do you do with this group? Can we salvage them? Or are we just done? Do we disband them? Nick, do you want to kick us off here?
See, that's a tough one because, okay. So the thing with this group, so we have like a lot of layers to this group right now, right? So we have the whole, the Max Man going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
We also have Logan Paul, who's been kind of added to the group, which I thought was a pretty interesting ad, and he's actually been a pretty good ad, in my opinion, to the group. You know, young guy. Well, he's not necessarily young, but one of the younger guys on the roster, younger talent anyway, and fits right in with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed as far as being, heel. And we have Austin Theory, who, man, he really needs that boost. And Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, who, when they initially came into the division with Seth Rollins, well, they had already started to make a name for themselves. They weren't on the level that they're clearly on right now, because they're clearly on a totally different level than when they first went into the division. That's a tough call, because if you were to break up the division, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker 100% could stand on their own as singles competitors.
But they out right now.
Right.
They out right now. Not even making it to Mania,
Right.
as they say.
They can 100% stand on their own as singles competitors. It's Austin Theory that I'm worried about, because this is literally his last chance. Where does he go from here? Like, those two guys are out, and what are they going to do with him? If the vision gets broken apart, I really don't know what they're going to do with Theory. Like, this is literally his last chance, and that was their way of shoehorning Theory in. That's my main concern, is that they're not going to know what to do with Theory if they break up the vision. But then at this point, it's like, there's no sense in keeping the vision together, because I feel like Logan Paul isn't going to be able to do anything to get Theory over. It all depended on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to help get Austin Theory over. As far as that layer of the vision.
So you're leaning on towards them, or with them disbanding?
I am.
Is that kind of?
Yeah, I am leaning towards them disbanding. It is what it is. I mean, I love this version of the vision. I think it's great. Like, the evolution of it, because it's a younger kind of crowd. You know what I mean? They showed that they don't have to lean on an older, not exactly older. Seth is not like super old,
Like
but
a
you know
veteran.
what I mean? Right. They don't have to lean on a veteran wrestler to have an established stable. They made their own, and I'm glad that I like this iteration of them, but I do feel like maybe the vision should just break up at this point.
Jay?
You like how division started with Seth and Paul Heyman to help. I think it was to help Braun Breaker, right? To help elevate him. That job is accomplished. And they added Bronson Reed to help elevate him also, and that job is accomplished, right? Logan Paul has been added to it, and he kind of didn't need the vision. But why wouldn't you want to work with Paul Heyman, right? That's like a positive. So Theory gets added was a bonus, which is cool because I want Theory to do well because he is Vince McMahon's last pick, right? And or he was when Vince was still around, he was definitely giving him a push. And usually Vince doesn't miss with the people he chooses. So Theory, he's not dead in the water yet. Because him being part of the vision, he can be taken serious now, right? He's not with Waller anymore, so at least he was with serious people. He was with Paul Heyman. I would try one last attempt to revamp this thing. There's this masked man guy. Make this guy somebody big. Make this guy somebody, maybe a Karrion Kross. I'm not sure. Somebody that Paul Heyman would want to work with. Again, I feel like Paul Heyman is the leader of the division. He's gonna make or break this. If Paul Heyman says, "No, we just need this one dude," or "I can work with this. I can work with Theory and Paul. Just give me whoever the next person is that he wants," right? And that should be fine. So give it one last shot if Heyman wants to do it. I'm only on board with keeping the vision around if Paul Heyman is on board, because Paul Heyman, he's a great mouthpiece for them, and he'll make whoever, he'll help Theory, he'll only elevate Paul more to be a champion, and I mean, you have to give Paul Heyman something to do. It maybe I don't think Brock Lesnar is joining division, but I'm saying let Heyman pick another person to help them while Bronson Reed and Breaker are recovering. So
You
that's
think it's
it.
Karrion?
I don't know who it is, to be honest. They're gonna have
I
to
guess
pivot. They might have to pivot. They probably have to pivot because of Bronson Reed's injury. So I'm not sure who they'll pivot to. Yes, and then they'll probably, like, Heyman will probably say, "I don't want to do this no more," or "I will want to do this, but I want to work with this person." So just let Heyman be the quarterback because the vision is led by Heyman, right? That's the mouthpiece. That's the most vocal person. So look what he did. Bronson Reed, who I thought wasn't gonna get over. I mean, let me rephrase. Bronson Reed is so much better with Paul Heyman. Like, he's a legit threat. You take him seriously, right? So there you go.
I guess, like, coming back to when you said the masked man, were you leaning towards the fact that this masked man is the person trying to break apart the vision or trying to take over the vision?
I think we have to pivot that he's gonna take over division because you got to write him in somehow, right?
And who do you think that could be? If
Paul Heyman.
if not Cross, who?
I don't know. I really don't. I
Who
think
do
it
you
could
want
be
it to be?
somebody. I want it to be somebody Paul Heyman feels comfortable he can work with, and that's not an out. It's just that if Paul Heyman chooses the person, they'll probably do well.
Nick, who you look like you had somebody.
Okay, so I always thought the timing was kind of suspicious for me. And in my head, I was like, okay, why would this specific masked man show up? And the only person he hasn't attacked in the vision is Austin Theory, right? He hasn't attacked Austin Theory. Has he?
Actually, no, I think.
Did he? Because I know he attacked Logan Paul.
He tagged
He attacked Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker at the Rumble. Yeah, you're right. Actually, he hasn't.
No,
attacked
I
Theory.
please, no, Nick.
So who?
I think it's Grayson Waller.
I
I think this was a way of putting Grayson Waller and Theory into a story.
Interesting.
And Grayson Waller's still there. You saw him at AJ's retirement thing. He's still there. Might as well utilize him.
Man,
It's Bobby Roode, who I saw there too.
Well, Bobby Roode. Well, we know Bobby Roode's a freaking producer. It's
Oh, is he? I didn't know.
yeah, he's a producer. He's been a producer.
really? You didn't know that?
No.
He's been a producer
since he got injured.
Yeah, his career is done. So he's been a backstage producer for a minute now. Yeah, Matt, Cross is the MLW champion, but to me that doesn't mean much. Only because we've seen indie stars, drop their titles to return to a major promotion, like especially if it's like around
Stephanie
mania time.
Bacquer. Stephanie Bacquer dropped their belts just to join WWE, I remember.
Yeah, I think she walked out on them, if I'm not mistaken. CMLL. Yeah, she walked out on them. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought she just dropped the belt.
But yeah, well, she had to vacate it in that sense too. Yeah, no, it is an interesting thing. It is unfortunate, like if you really look at the timeline for the Vision, like they've only been around post Mania as of last year, which were nearly around the year mark. Obviously started off with Seth and Paul, brought in Braun, and they had Breaker join Logan Paul after Seth was attacked by Braun Breaker. I think a lot of people are like starting to allude to the fact that, okay, when we first saw the Masked Man, obviously, rumors of, either Theory or even Montez Ford for that matter ended up being Theory. Since then, that Masked Man has returned to attack Braun Breaker, Logan Paul. So I guess I'll break this down here. Honestly, I think with the way that looks, I would assume that the Masked Man has to be Seth Rollins. May have not been him physically. In terms of storytelling, I think it has to be Seth Rollins at this point, right? And when Nick said he hasn't attacked Theory, I think there has to be something with Theory and Seth in that capacity, where Seth had probably planted Austin Theory to help disband the Vision internally. So that's kind of like the theory behind Theory, pun intended. But
we spoke about this before, right?
Yeah, I think we touched on this a little bit, but now the injuries had happened, right? We did not see this going down. Now obviously the plan of Braun Breaker clearly not going to be ready for action for WrestleMania. Bronson Reed obviously is not going to be making WrestleMania with his injury. So where does this really leave the actual members of the Vision right now? We only have Logan Paul and Austin Theory. I jokingly said this on the side, through our group chats. There's obviously the chatter between Logan Paul entertaining this whole idea of him against Bad Bunny for WrestleMania. Now, how does that really tie into the whole Vision thing? It doesn't. But with the way things are right now, I don't see anything wrong with having that match, because it's a big name match that will draw a lot of casuals. Obviously, Bad Bunny just coming off the Super Bowl performance. He's clearly a big global star.
There's also, let me interject really fast. There's also that Logan Paul's brother also said that Puerto Ricans weren't real Americans.
He said that shit on Twitter.
Yeah, so then there's
about not being a real American. So
yeah.
And I know a lot of people were kind of saying like, oh, they're it's kayfabe, they're trying to elude into this whole WrestleMania build, whether or not it was or not. The situation at hand, I think it would be a good opportunity right now for them to actually take Logan Paul, yes, Grammy Award winner, thank you, Matt, to actually take Logan Paul and put him in a match with Bad Bunny as their their celebrity, like match, if you want to call it, right? Clearly there's going to be a lot of casuals, big fans of Bad Bunny, fans of Logan Paul that are going to be drawn to see something like this. It's going to definitely garner a lot of media attention, from, major sports networks to even like major media networks for that matter. Why not pull the trigger here? Why not? The unfortunate circumstance here is Austin Theory, right? We've talked about this multiple times, leaving him dead in the water to not have anything. And obviously, this being one of his last and saving opportunities, joining the vision. Why not? Put him as a focal point here? Now it's kind of hard. It is hard. It's unfortunate. And if we do definitely go like the Logan Paul Bad Bunny route, how do we actually involve Austin Theory here in WrestleMania? What capacity does he have? What does he bring to WrestleMania here if he has nobody in the vision, right? So that's going to be the interesting thing. So it's hard for me to really say what I want to see with the vision. Personally, whatever it is that can be done to salvage this, I would love to see it. I just don't see how they can. With all the main guys out and not being part of the biggest show of the year, that's tough. It really is tough. And now this is the other part of it. One of the main guys, Paul Heyman. It is not a surprise to me that they have realigned him with Brock Lesnar again. He came out on Monday Night Raw. They bring him and Brock Lesnar out, throwing out this open challenge for Brock Lesnar. It almost feels like there's like no relation to the vision here with this whole match. So it almost tells me that they're pivoting based on the circumstances to have Paul Heyman do his own thing at WrestleMania, aligned with Brock Lesnar here. And whoever that open challenge is, I think rumors are it could be Obafemi, could be Gunther. Shit, it might. This is an interesting thing, right? This is what I'm thinking. How can you make this part of the vision? Well, this is one possibility, and this is what I'm thinking. There was that whole thing about Karrion Kross that just happened, right? I think I don't know who the interviewer was, but it was posted on social media. Jay, you shared it with the group. Karrion Kross was being interviewed by some gentleman, and he's clearly with his MLW title. And then all of a sudden, there's a text message that comes through. That text message was then revealed as Paul Heyman. For me, what I'm thinking here is, okay, you just had Paul Heyman come out there, talk about Brock Lesnar with the open challenge. Now, let's just say this. That open challenge is now answered by Karrion Kross. Boom, you got a surprise here, right? Nobody's probably going to expect that because they're probably thinking Obafemi, maybe Gunther, somebody on the main roster. What if it was Karrion Kross? Karrion Kross comes out. He actually faces Brock Lesnar. Now, guess what? Paul Heyman turns on Brock Lesnar. What happens here with Brock Lesnar is now you have a new opposition to the vision because Karrion Kross is now part of the vision with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is your mouthpiece to Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross can be part of Logan Paul and Austin Theory. If they want to salvage it with people that are currently there, specifically Logan Paul and Austin Theory, why not bring Karrion Kross in as their new head guy? That's one theory of how I look as far as salvaging this situation around WrestleMania. That's how I look at it. But you want to go any other way? So be it.
So you would
That's the only way I
revamp
can think of it.
you would revamp the vision then. You wouldn't disband it.
In that way.
That's
If
a
not-
solid one. That's
If
solid.
not, then I don't see any way of saving it. I really don't.
It has to be
really
like there
don't.
has to be another person, a main
Yeah,
person.
it does. It does.
That's all. But again, Heyman has to want to work with this person. So, like, I don't think Gunther would be somebody you could put in the division. I don't think
No.
it's gonna be Jey Uso. Like,
No,
they've been
definitely
there,
not.
done that kind of stuff. No, not with Gunther, but with Jey Uso stuff. So, LA Knight, I don't like. I'm looking for
No.
somebody to put in there, right?
Like, and this interesting thing too, right? Is because I think when we look at the whole Brock Lesnar thing, Brock Lesnar has, if I'm not mistaken, they are putting out there like he's about to retire. I think he's wanting to retire, and it might actually happen around SummerSlam because I think SummerSlam is taking place in Minnesota this year.
Oh, Gunther
So,
taking them out.
like that's going to eventually be on its own thing, but it will be kind of interesting, like the way it's pivoted right now because of the whole like all the injuries that have happened to the division, and really, I don't know if there's even like a possibility of Seth even making it back to WrestleMania in some capacity. There's been, he's been showing that he's recuperating, doing therapy and whatnot. But even if you were to bring him back, what does he do here? You have no other Vision members really that relevant to even start a program again. It would have been
AJ
great if
Styles. AJ Styles, you bring him back.
well,
Just kidding.
shit. Well, shit. That the timing of it is interesting. We obviously know he retired, but you really think about it. Like the only way I thought it would have made sense was if Braun Breaker was still around, healthy, program with him, Seth at Mania, because obviously Braun took him out, right? So there's a lot of different things that we can really like see happening here, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say like with the way things transpire. It's unfortunate too. Injuries,
I
there's just
think
no
Braun
telling how they're
Breaker was
gonna
gonna
impact.
get his WrestleMania moment. Like, I think he was gonna get his WrestleMania moment and win the belt there. I I felt that was gonna happen. Unfortunately, he got injured, right? And I think he was gonna get his WrestleMania moment. So now they're pivoting and pivoting and pivoting. Like, then losing Bronson Reed, who was like built up, like that's a huge loss. But again,
Yeah.
they have Heyman and that guy, and they have Logan Paul. So Heyman and Logan Paul, that's something. It's not fully dead yet, division. You know. So
What about Theory? What are you with Theory?
he's still finding
That's
his
the unfortunate
character.
part.
He's still finding his character with Division,
He's
right?
been
Like,
finding his. That's the unfortunate part too. Is like he's been finding his character. He's been trying to find his character, and I thought he had something going too, coming into the Vision.
right.
But
So
yeah,
Well, that's the thing with Theory is that it feels more of the same, just it just tweaked a little bit, right? And I don't know if that's what they're going for, but Theory does need to like I don't
again,
know
Paul
what he needs to
Heyman.
do.
Paul Heyman probably had a say, bring in Theory. So Paul Heyman saw something in him also, right? Paul
Well, we
Heyman
all
just
see
doesn't want to.
we all see something in Theory. We're rooting for him for sure because we know that he can be something. It's just he's missing something.
He's got Paul Heyman. He's got to hit it now.
it's interesting because I
Paul
think
Heyman,
even
Paul Heyman can only get him. Paul Heyman can only get him so far. Honestly, like, and I'm
hence
just
Curtis Hawkins, right?
right.
Oh, no, what is
Bro.
Kurt Hennig? Oh, wait,
Kurt-
no,
yeah,
what is
no?
what is his
not
son's
Kurt,
name?
Yeah,
The other Hennig, his son,
yeah. He
whatever
missed
it
on
was.
him. Axel
right.
Henning or something.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Claudio
Bro,
Cesaro.
right. It just Theory has. You're right. Matt saying it. Theory has that potential.
Axel
Axel
Hennig, thank you,
Hennig.
Matt.
There you go. Right. Theory has that potential, and we all see it. It's just, dude, bro. He has the aura of a fucking 2x4. This guy, I don't know
Not
what
even
it
knowing
is.
my hacksaw.
No.
Oh.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan's 2x4
Saying
has
that
more.
that 2x4 has more aura than Theory.
He has
Oh,
he has
shit.
more aura than
Damn.
Theory, bro. Like, I mean, he just aura need. I mean, Theory needs to work on his. I don't know. His personality is just, it's so vanilla, and I mean, it's even more vanilla than John Cena. He needs to work on that. And
Oh,
Paul
man.
Heyman can only take him so far, but Theory needs to work on himself, is what it is. His wrestling is fine. It's never. You notice, like, we've never complained about his in-ring ability. His in-ring ability is fine.
Absolutely.
It's his personality.
His
There's a
charisma.
Yeah.
I think it's lacking.
He has the personality of drying paint, bro. He has a personality
It's
of drying paint.
lacking, but I also feel like he hasn't, like, okay, exception to Cena. I also don't think he has really had a good dancing partner or feud, and that's the unfortunate part. Nothing that
Waller,
nobody has really brought it on him.
They should have went with that feud. They just dropped
Waller's
the ball
a
on it.
comedic act. I feel like
No, I'm
Waller's
just
such a
saying, like,
comedic
they were
act,
building up. They were building up that breakup, and they never really went with it. It's like one of those stories that just didn't go nowhere.
Yeah. It's like, like I think with the way it just transpired, I was obviously hoping that, Theory would have been that one guy to, he's obviously there behind Braun and Bronson, and then at some point he would have been put over them, making him like a very good main player on the main roster. But yeah, it is what it is. Like I don't want to speak hypotheticals at this point. It's unfortunate what's happened to this group. Clearly, the potential was there. We have good, veterans, Seth, Paul Heyman, all those names. Like those names in itself should have generated a lot of value to this group, and they did initially. But yeah, it's the way it's just transpired. I don't know exactly how long Braun's gonna be out. I don't think they really talked about how long he's gonna be out. It's clearly like not gonna be in time for WrestleMania. On Bronson just this past Monday too. So we'll see what happens. I think it would be kind of interesting how the Vision actually plays a part in this whole WrestleMania of at Vegas this year, and it's 2 nights, so is enough. There's enough time for anything to happen for a 2-nighter WrestleMania, so to speak.
100%.
And the interesting thing too, right? I like kind of thinking about WrestleMania. Like I kind of want to jump back to this whole open challenge of Brock Lesnar. It's funny how they're promoting this as a open challenge, because it's almost like makes us think, who the hell could answer this challenge? I think
it's legit. Like they don't know what to do with him.
It's that part of
they
it.
have
Yes,
they have something, because they're trying to make it seem like nobody's accepting the open challenge. They're trying to
that's so to me that's such lazy booking though. Like
no, they're just trying to make Brock Lesnar look strong, like he's scary and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know about that. No,
that's lazy.
It's Brock Lesnar. We know what Brock Lesnar brings.
Of course, that's what they're doing, because that's what they did was it Monday. They just said, hey, open challenge, and nobody came out.
No, it's for Mania, right? Like, so it's just like
it's a Mania challenge.
Like, yeah, right. we got time. We got time. Yes, we got time to build it. But the open challenge, I don't know if so. I guess this is where I'm confused, right? Is this open challenge going to be answered at Mania, or is it going to be answered before Mania? That's kind of like where I'm kind of curious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because if it opens up, if it's like, does somebody answer it before Mania, where there's a slight build to it? Cool. But does it end up being an open challenge like the Randy Orton Joe Hendry thing at WrestleMania? That to me seems a little bit weak. Unless you give me some sort of fucking shock and awe type of surprise. You know what I mean? But it's Brock Lesnar, for goodness sakes. Like how do you not find somebody for him at this point? That's just kind of like where I'm at. Oh no, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I just wanted to kind of like, throw this out there because I didn't see that coming, honestly. WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar open challenge was not on my bingo card. That's just what I'm saying. So that would be fucking crazy, and like not really in a good way.
It could be Oba, could be LA.
And the interesting thing is, like, if that happens, what happens with Gunther here? Like, where does Gunther fall
could be
into
WrestleMania? It could be Gunther.
That's the crazy part, right?
Bro, Matt. No, bro, Matt. I was thinking the same thing. It could be Royce Keys as well.
You think Royce Keys would actually be a formidable challenger to Brock Lesnar right now?
Hey, we never know. They might just.
He's been doing dark matches. Main event. Been on main event. Yeah, they're doing, like giving him some time to develop a little bit. But I think his major last appearance was on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. But outside of that, yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I just wanted to throw it out there just because I'm like, it's fucking Brock Lesnar. How do you not
dude,
really know what the fuck do with him?
When I saw that, I was like, dude, this is so lazy. That the booking is so lazy in that aspect, because it's like open challenge. Really, that's the best you got to give us is an open challenge. Like, you couldn't do any better than that.
But is this also a pivot because of the whole Bronson Reed injury? Like, do they not have anything to do, like, have anything for Paul Heyman now? Like, I don't know. That's just kind of like another thing I'm throwing out there, right? But I don't want to disregard the fact that on Monday Night Raw, clearly the highlight of Monday Night Raw was AJ Styles, right? It was in Georgia, and we know that AJ had his last match in WWE, specifically against Gunther at the Royal Rumble. So I think we're just a few weeks removed from that. Now they actually did a tribute to AJ, and going back to that Royal Rumble match, he kind of teased at the very end, like taking off the gloves and almost alluding to the fact he was going to leave his gear in the ring that moment, but didn't. Obviously sparked a little bit of like, oh, is he really hanging up the books? Hanging up his boots, going to AEW? Is he going to go elsewhere? Maybe TNA. He did a podcast with Stephanie McMahon. Didn't really like give us a clear answer there, but obviously on Monday Night Raw, we did see him leave his gloves, his vest in the middle of the ring. Therefore, obviously calling it a career. Surprise, surprise, Undertaker comes out, announces he's going to be one of the members of this upcoming 2026 Hall of Fame class. And on top of that, I think it was also mentioned today that he did sign a deal with WWE as, I don't know if it's really like a Legends deal, but it's more in the capacity that he will be helping, I guess, at the training center or helping with the new talent, so to speak. So right. But I don't know if it's specifically at the Performance Center. I think it's more like his involvement with WWE is going to be with the new talent. They haven't really given him like a title for it, but nonetheless, he is again signed with WWE, but it's not an in-ring contract. So yeah, I think the rumors can clearly be shut down now. He's not going to go to AEW, although a lot of AEW fans were wishing for that. Your favorite, Nick, I think Mercedes Monet was actually hoping that would have happened too. She actually tweeted something like teasing something like that. But yeah. So I think at the end of the day, I thought he had a really good kind of like a outgoing speech, his retirement. And I personally, like, for me, I wanted to always say this about AJ Styles. I'm not gonna pretend like I followed his career in TNA or New Japan, but obviously I knew the name. I understood who he was going into WWE, and clearly that debut at the Royal Rumble was a phenomenal one. And clearly the reaction, the response of the crowd when he did debut was quite telling. But you know what? It's interesting because when I think back as far as people who made it big outside of WWE without using the WWE name, there's the only one other person, in my opinion, Sting. AJ Styles is the only other one, right? And I honestly, for me, I would even say I might get some heat for this. I might have to say, like, probably the greatest superstar that had ever became who they were outside of WWE before joining WWE, probably, in my opinion, AJ Styles. That's how I look at it.
I respect it. I respect it. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, where I didn't follow AJ's career before he came to the WWE, but he made a significant impact enough outside of
Pun-
the WWE. Yeah,
pun
that
intended.
pun intended. That I knew
TNA.
that I knew the significance of who he was when he came to the WWE. It was significant enough that I knew who he was and his significance. When he was doing his retirement speech, that was a great retirement speech. And then leaving it on the ground and everything. And when Undertaker came out, I was like, oh fuck. I knew exactly where that was going. And being where my mind normally goes, the first thing I thought was son of a bitch. I see where they're going with this. Their Undertaker is coming out because he's gonna induct him into the Hall of Fame. And they're doing this so they can lock AJ down so he won't go anyplace else. That's that's where my mind. Undertaker didn't even make it to the ring yet, and that's exactly where my mind went. I mean, that may not have been the intention, but that's exactly where my mind went.
No, there's a lot of people that share that sentiment. WWE purposely locked them up, but Mm. Mm. He's like 5 kids. Yeah, was it 5 kids? He has 5 kids. Yeah, yeah.
He has a bunch of them, and that's
Yeah.
part of the reason he wants to
Yeah.
hang it up, right? Is that he wants to be able to enjoy his kids without his body being like super banged up.
And he did actually. I think it was the Good Brothers podcast talking about he actually has had like neck problems as of late. Being one of the big reasons why he wants to like call it when he's able to still, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Although he did say at one point that who knows if his son actually pursues.
Right, and that's why he didn't put down his. That's why he initially didn't put it down, right?
And he might pull LeBron James and try to like tag with his own son at some point. That's something that he did say. Yeah. Of course, yeah. Yeah. That's why I definitely put him up there as like the biggest wrestler to make a name for themselves outside of WWE before going to WWE. I definitely believe that. Mm-hmm. it was made for all styles of wrestling, right? Mm. Jay, that's the most racist thing that you could ever say. He could only promo because he could speak English. Motherfucker. On Twitch, too. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, did you get it?
Shit.
We're waiting for the strike down. Waiting for the strike down.
Yeah, well, it is suiting that we got to see him on the way out in Georgia. Probably gave Georgia a proper retirement because the last one wasn't that glamorous. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about Goldberg. not the best
The half speech.
the half-ass type of retirement, and I hate to say I'm not like yeah thank you Gunther, thank you so much for that. Not for Cena, not for AJ, but you did us good with Goldberg, so thank you. And then on that note, before we say any more racist shit, I think we should call it a night. I know, I'm just fucking with you.
WWE turn it off. WWE.
That's gonna be the new shirt. We're not
WWE.
racist. We're not racist, but we like promos in English. Yep. So there you go. Anyways, good shit. Yeah. Christopher Daniels. They always
Christopher
had like
Daniels
a
was
big connection back in the day. Yeah, Matt, stop trying to hijack our fucking show, man. We're trying to bounce. You said it from the fucking get go. Go fucking sleep. We're trying to go sleep, bro.
Yeah. Matt,
No,
maybe one day we'll have
good,
you on
bro.
the podcast, but
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
If we have Matt on the podcast,
Stop chatting with us and just jump on here at some point.
I don't know
We'd love to have that.
if we have Matt on the podcast, our podcast might actually go for like 3 hours, bro. I don't know.
Now we're
Matt,
just
one day
talking our
we'll
shit.
get you on one day, Matt. We'll get you on one day.
Yeah, just down. Yes, sir. So we got to call it a night. We're getting old ourselves, or we are old. So just saying. And nonetheless, we appreciate everybody just hanging out with us. Always enjoy the time with the panel. Obviously, Cuzzo, we miss you. We're hoping you jumped on with us, but we understand technical difficulties get the best of us. But at the same time, we will see you on the next one. So
You sure you guys don't wanna run it back?
no
yeet?
not at this time. Not at this time. No.
All right, guys.
Cut it. Cut the feed. Later. We out.